Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dragon's Lair. My name is Wade and this is my show Let's Talk. Today we're talking Warhammer, we're talking Tyranids. So go ahead and take a look at my awesome Neurothrope there on my turntable. We're talking about the Neurothrope today. I've already done videos about the Fly Rant and the Walk Rant. I love Tyrants. I also love the Neurothrope. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as the space dragons space liar, or the _dragons_liar. Those are the only two ways that we show up. These videos are shorter. I do have deep dives on my YouTube because this is meant for Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Anyway, so let's talk about the Neurothrope. What's great about the Neurothrope? And I'm going to say most things. Tyrants, I say everything. I'm going to say most things. Go ahead and take a look at the Toughness 5 and the Wound 6. That went up when the new Codex dropped months ago, half a year ago. I am doing all these videos as if I'm playing Leviathan. I played Leviathan when the Codex came out. I'm still playing Leviathan. There's stuff that I like about it. I'm not a fair weather player. I usually pick something and then test some things out, but I'm sticking with Leviathan. So Synaptic Control is not going to have a big effect here because he's not a monster. So Synaptic Control got changed. Check out the data slate. So Synaptic Control is not going to help you here. The Tough 5 is good. The 6 Wounds is good. Weapons, nothing. He's got no weapons. He don't need no weapons. You notice he's got 2 attacks. Strength 5, whatever. War Gear, nothing. He's got no options. He don't need options. Why? Because he's got abilities. So Synapse, keep in mind things got to be 6 inches away from a Synapse creature now to be considered in Synapse. But Synaptic Link Range, or SLR as I like to call it, is 12 inches. You need to know both of those. Shadow of the Warp is 18 inches, so any enemy psychers within 18 inches get a -1 on their cast, and then when they're casting psychic powers. And then if they fail and they get a Peril of the Warp, they take 1 additional mortal wound. It could help you out. It hasn't ever helped me out, but it could help you out. So remember those things. Warp Field, 3+ invulnerable. He's got the best invulnerable in our army. It's great. Spirit Leech, in your psychic phase, each time an enemy unit within 18 inches of the model suffers a mortal wound, select 1 friendly Neurothrope or Zonothrope model within 12 inches of this target. That target regains a lost wound to a maximum of 3. This is so easy for me to forget. Sorry, so easy for me to forget. I need to remember this because I don't know about you, but at about the 75% mark of all of my games, stuff that died easy is already dead. My big stuff in the backfield, Tyrannifexes mostly, X-Grinds, may have some damage on it, but they're still going strong. Usually my Walk Rant is still alive because he's got guard. My Flying Tyrant, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. Point is, this is easy to forget about. And in about the 75% of the game to the end, so maybe even mid to the end, my Neurothrope and my Zonothropes do a lot of work. They do a lot of work. And you need to use them. You need to let them get their Psychic on. So remember Spirit Leech. Psychic Node, add +1 to Psychic tests taken to this model. Now remember, it's just to hit and to wound that cannot be modified by more than a +1 or a -1. So if you have 5 abilities on you that give you a +1 to hit, you don't stack all 5 of them. You just do +1. So if you have 2 abilities that are giving you a +1, and then someone gives you a -1, you're still at +1 because 1 of your 2 +1 abilities equals out your the -1 penalty that you'd be getting. Okay, so keep that in mind. So things like this, they do stack. So he's getting a +1 to cast from Psychic Node. It's awesome. You need it. It's good. Warp Siphon. I love Warp Siphon. In your command phase, select 1 friendly Hive Tyrant Psyker unit within Synaptic Link Range. So remember how you link them. As long as the first one is 12 from the second one, and 12 from that one, and 12 from this one, and 12 from that one, they're all in Synaptic Link Range back to the beginning. Of this model has already been selected for this ability this turn until the start of your next command phase. Each time a psychic test is taken for that unit, roll 1 additional d6 and discard 1 of the dice. This is amazing. This is awesome. I love it because we pair it with Synaptic tendrils. So for your warlord trait, use synaptic tendrils. In the story of my army, in the role playing, which I do love, my Neurothrope is actually my leader, because he's super crazy smart, and I love that. I go for smart. I love strong, but I go for smart. Anyways, according to the rules, if you have a hive tyrant on the board, the hive tyrant has to be your warlord, and so on and so forth. And you can only have one warlord, or you can only have one hive tyrant per detachment. Those are all unique organism is the rule, that one hive tyrant per detachment. And then they changed unique organism in one of the data slates that makes it so your hive tyrant has to be your warlord. Anyways, look up that stuff on the tyrant videos. Anyways, synaptic tendrils allows you to use it twice. So in the beginning of the game, I am popping that on both of my hive tyrants. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle to chain it to the fly rant, because he's so far ahead of everybody else, because he moves 17. My fly rant moves 17. Anyways, but it ensures the things like Catalyst and Onslaught. And fly rants love Onslaught, walk rants love Catalyst, although I'm putting it on the Tyrant Guard. Those are still great things, and it ensures it pretty much. Because they're easy casts. I think they're 5 or 6 casts between the two of those things. Maybe they're both 6, maybe one's 5, maybe one's 6. I think they're both 6. Anyways, when you're rolling 3d6 and throwing away one of the dice, you're pretty much going to get it. It's great. It's wonderful. If the fly rant dies, which a lot of people gun down a fly rant, they alpha strike a fly rant or surround it and kill it. Anyways, then I am putting it on the walk rant so he can protect his Tyrant Guard, and then I throw the other one on my Zonothropes. Zonothropes rolling 3d6, dropping whatever die they want, plus their already bonus to cast. I'm not going to say that you can ensure, but you have a very strong likelihood of Super Smite. And Super Smite is amazing on Zonothropes. Use it. You'll see me talk in other videos. Use your units to do the things that they do best. Maximize what they do best. We're running out of time, so let's hit this. We went through Warp Siphon already. We went through the Warlord trait. Relic, Resonance Barb. Gives an additional +1 to cast, which they all stack, and lets it know another power, which means it's going to know 4 powers. What powers do you ask? Usually I'll go with Catalyst, Onslaught, because they're backups in case I lose a Tyrant. I do like Psychic Scream because it allows for more damage output. However, because I'm playing Leviathan, I love Hive Nexus. So it basically allows you to turn on a Psychic Imperative that's already been used. So then you can reuse the Zonothrope Psychic Imperative to be thrown around either a 4+ Invulnerable or a 5+ Invulnerable, which is really great. Put it on the Tyrant Guard. Put Catalyst on the Tyrant Guard. So then they have a 5+ Invulnerable and a 5+ Feel No Pain. Do it. I also put, if I'm going to fight Orcs or Guard or something like that, that's also where I will put Neuroparasite, so we can cast that and rack up the mortal wound kills. The strategies that I would suggest, the stratagems that I would suggest to go along with this, would be Power of the Hive Mind. He's already getting 2 casts. If it's mid-game to late game, maybe you need the 3 casts out of him. Keep in mind Rapid Regeneration, not because he gets tiered and he needs to be in his top tier, but because keeping him alive can sometimes be what you need to do. But also remember Spirit Leech. So Rapid Regeneration may not be a priority, but it's still there to be used. Keep in mind with Rapid Regeneration, you choose a model. Go back and read that. You choose a model, not a unit, a model. It's more useful than you probably thought. When he uses his Synaptic Imperative, it gives everyone a +1 to cast, a +1 to deny, and a 5+ denial on mortal wounds. The mortal wound thing is probably not going to be super big, but that means that turn he's casting at a +3, and then your Zonothropes will be casting at even higher. His 2 denies, he gets 2 denies, that's kind of rare, will be even higher. That's my Neurothrope. I love my Neurothrope. I think it's awesome. Thank you guys for listening. I think that your time is super valuable. You probably have a spouse or a relationship or kids or a dog or school or jobs or everything all that wrapped in together, which means your time is very valuable. So thank you for spending your time with us here at the Dragon's Lair.